you believe that we made applesauce in 30 minutes, minus the time to can? Good morning, guys. I hope everything is well with you. And in today's episode, we are going to get saucy. We are going to make 3 different kinds of applesauce. We are going to make strawberry, raspberry, and original. I have made the cinnamon and I've canned it up already. And I will also leave the recipe for the cinnamon in the episode or in the comments below. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm super excited about this. Applesauce is so easy and it's easier to can it. So let's have fun today in the kitchen. If you're new here, my name is Brooke and this is Seeds to Sanctuary. Thank you so much for coming along. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Let's get going. Let's make some applesauce. Okay, friends, so the first one we're going to start with is the strawberry applesauce. I'm going to make a double recipe, so I'm going to take 16 apples and 2 cups of strawberries, and we're going to combine those together to make our strawberry applesauce, along with 1 to 2 cups of sugar, depending on how sweet you like it. We like ours a little tart, and we are making this for Mandy, my cousin, because it's her favorite and she's having back surgery tomorrow. So I'm going to drive this applesauce to West Virginia so she has something yummy for her tummy and to lift her spirits after her back surgery. So the first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to peel the 16 apples, or 8 apples if you're doing a half serving. And let's get started doing that. And then we're going to go ahead, and I have all of my pots sitting out already. We're going to put them in the pots and get making our applesauce. Just wait till you see how super easy this is. Okay, friends, so I'm using my new KitchenAid mixer attachment to peel my apples. Am I being lazy? Maybe, but it's super easy. My husband just bought me this and I was like, are you just being sweet or do you not want to peel 2.5 bushels full of apples with me? I'm sure he was just being sweet. Nonetheless, I have this new contraption to make my life a little easier. So if you have one of these or you're planning on getting one of these, all we're going to do is we're going to square the apple. So we're going to cut off the top and the bottom. But don't worry, none of these pills will go to waste. We're going to make apple cider vinegar and apple jelly in a later episode this week with all of our pills. So I've just cut the bottom off on both. So I've just cut the bottom off on both sides of the apple. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it on here. And let me show you just how easy this is. Now, I don't think this apple is going to line up perfectly, so watch it give me trouble. Yeah. That's another thing that you need to watch with this mixer. So sometimes, just like us, we are all formed differently, but we're all special, right? So your apple core might go a little crooked. If that happens, don't worry. We can fix that. So I'm just going to grab another apple just to show you real quick. Okay, so this apple looks like the core is going straight through. So this will be a good example. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And look at that go. Look how awesome that is. So I'm going to get a Ziploc bag out and I'm going to put all of my apple peels and cores into it, and then apple cores and peels into my Ziploc, and I'm going to leave this pan right underneath here so any of the juices that might sneak out just yet from the apple peeling will drop directly into my pot so I won't lose any of this lovely juice. Now let's go back to this troublemaker. That's a little goofy. Don't push this side all the way in and then let it go. Okay, I'm gonna get to peeling the 16 apples that we need for my double recipe for the strawberry and the strawberry applesauce. So I'm gonna get to doing that and I'll be right back. I also thought it would be important to let you know that you don't have to use just one type of apple. I find, and I've also done the research, that when you use multiple kinds of apples, you get a more sweeter, you have to use less sugar, and it's just overall more healthy for you. If there are certain ones that you like the most, you can use those ones. I just went to our local farmer and our apple orchard, and I picked every single one that was tart and sweet that I liked, because they will also be good for the apple turnovers that we'll be making later on in the episode this week. So yeah, I picked Honeycrisp, Fuji, Granny Smith. I'll put a list down of the kind I got. I bought 6 different types. So you don't have to just stick to one type of apple. I know there's suggestions for buying apples to make certain things, but again, that is just a suggestion. Make things your own, give it a try it out. Now I'm gonna get back to peeling all these apples, and I'm sure grateful that I have this contraption. So thank you so much, hubby. Okay, friends, now here comes the fun part. So like I said, you only need 1 to 2 cups of sugar depending on how sweet you like it. I like the more natural flavor of the applesauce, so I'm really not gonna put 2 cups. I'm only gonna put a half a cup to 1 cup in ours. And then once we put this on low and we let the apples reduce for about 20 minutes, it takes 30 minutes altogether. After 20 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and add 2 cups of our strawberries. But before we put this on the stove, we are going to add 2 cups of water. Now, we like our applesauce fine and thinner, not chunky. If you like it chunky, then you will put less water in. You will put a cup of water. But we like ours like the pureed sort of type. So that's what we're going to be making. So let's get this on the stove. Let's get our 2 cups of water in here and let's make some yummy applesauce. Let the sink on. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna pour 2 cups of water into there. We're gonna put this on medium heat and put our lid on, and then we're gonna get to peeling and coring our next 16 apples to make our raspberry applesauce. And then our original applesauce will be all of this, it's the exact same recipe minus the strawberries or the raspberries. And if when you go to do the cinnamon, it's the exact same recipe, only depending on how much cinnamon you like, you'll add 1.5 teaspoons to however much it is that you like. I noticed 1.5 teaspoons is plenty for us. And if my husband wants a little bit extra, I can just add a little spoonful to his. So I'm gonna start peeling up and coring the next apples while this is sweating down and getting all saucy. I am going to use an immersion blender during this process. You could pour this into like a Vitamix or a processor and mash them up that way. Or you can hand mash them with like a potato masher. It just depends on what consistency you like and what tools you have in your kitchen. So I'm gonna quit gabbing now and get over here to this. Okay, friends, So our apples have come to a boil. We're going to go ahead and we're going to just push all of this down. I'm going to turn it on low. And now we are going to add our 2 cups of strawberries. See how it's mushing up just nice already? There's a few peels in there that didn't get off all the way, and that's okay too because we're going to be using our immersion blender. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add 2 cups of strawberries. We're going to stir those strawberries in. Stir those strawberries in there. You can always add extra strawberries if you want. You can add any fruit to this that you would like. Peaches, blackberries, blueberries, you name it. See how it's starting to turn the color already? Mandy, I hope you can't wait. Put our lid back on for another 10 minutes and then we're going to immersion blend this. Okay friends, now we're going to make our raspberry one. So I've already peeled and cored all of these apples. It's another 16 apples. I'm doing a double batch. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar and 2 cups of water. And then once we let this boil or simmer for 20 minutes on medium, we're going to turn it down to low and then add our raspberries just like we did for our strawberry sauce. So the family and I have never went apple picking. We've always just went to the apple orchard and bought our big bags of apples. So I was super excited to do it this year, and all the orchards that I went to were doing the no pick. So if you know an orchard around the northeast, northwest Ohio that lets you do pick your own apples, drop it in the comment. We'd appreciate it. I'd really love to do it. But we did get to go to Heartfelt Kitchen, and it was one of my papa's favorite restaurants to go to. So it's always nostalgic and yummy, and it's still an adventure, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lid this up, and I'll see you in another 20 minutes. Okay friends, now that our applesauce and our strawberries have come to a boil and it has sweated down, cooked down, we're going to go ahead and we're going to immersion blend this. It looks so beautiful. I'm so excited. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Let's look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay friends, so we're going to go ahead and immersion blend this. Okay friends, now that I have immersion blend this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the lid back on it, and I'm going to let it simmer for about 10 more minutes just to thicken it up a little bit more. But it's a perfect consistency for my family. Like I said, if you like a chunkier, more thicker applesauce, you'll put less water in and you will mash it up less, or immersion blend it up less. Now we are going to go ahead and we are going to do our raspberry one. So this has been cooking down for 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 cups to 2.5 cups of raspberries, depending on, you know, your taste. And then I'm just going to stir in these raspberries and then place it on the lid on top for another 10 minutes. And then we're going to immersion blend this one as well. And then I'm going to get the canner out. And we're going to can up our plain applesauce, our strawberry applesauce, and our raspberry applesauce. After you have all of your apples sliced and peeled, go ahead and put them in your pot and add 1.5 cups of sugar Just as a reminder, there is 16 apples in this. You can cut this recipe in half if you'd like, but I'm making a double dose. After you've added your sugar, you're going to go ahead and you are going to add 2.5 cups of water. Place this on low heat. Add a lid and remember to stir, and we'll check back. Okay, so our applesauce is ready. I'm going to go ahead and take this off and add my canning pot with my jars in here to sanitize. Okay, so like I said, I added all of my canning jars into water bath. I'm sanitizing the rings and the lids and the jars. Okay, friends, now that our raspberry applesauce has reduced, we're going to go ahead and we're going to immersion blend this. Now that I've got it to the consistency that my family likes, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sweat it down just for a little bit longer with the lid half off. My kitchen smells so good, friends. In the back, I have chicken broth that I've been making for the last 12 hours on low in my crock pot so I can can up my own chicken broth. I'm super excited about that. It smells so good in here, almost heavenly. Look at that beautiful strawberry sauce. Wow. Okay, my beautiful friends, in order to can up your applesauce, this will be the same for each one. So I'm only going to do it, show you the process for one of them. But what we're going to do is we're going to take our beautiful strawberry applesauce, and I've already sanitized my jars. I'm going to lay them out over this towel, and we are going to can it up. And it's going to take 20 minutes during water bath. You do need to put lemon juice in each one of your jars for to be shelf stable. And I will show you just how much. It's not that much. We're not going to change the flavoring of our applesauce because it does have a natural acidity. Excuse me. So let's get to canning up. Okay, so we're going to just take our canning jars, and I always do this backwards. We're going to take our canning jars out of our hot water bath. All canning kits come with all the things that you need. So the canning kit that I got was a ball, and it came with a little funnel for the top of it. It also came with the thing to pick up your mason jars, your air popper, and it came with a little stick with a magnet, so you don't have to reach into that hot water, and you can just pull your lids right out. Okay, now that we have all of our hot jars out, we're going to go ahead and we are going to take one of our jars and we are going to add our funnel right on top. I already got a ladle out, and we're just going to ladle our applesauce into our jar, leaving a 1-inch headspace. And that is the easiest way to remember. If that would be the top rim where you screw it in, that's enough space. And you're going to repeat this process for every single one of them. Because I sanitized and the jars are still hot, it is safe to go ahead and put your applesauce directly in the jars. You won't have to worry about them breaking. If you are doing this with cold jars, you are going to need to make sure that your product is cold as well, because you don't want anything shattering. We don't want this to be dangerous. We want it to be yummy. So it's really hot. So once you fill up your jars, you're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna wipe down the rim, make sure there's nothing around it. I usually use vinegar and a rag. I'm gonna wipe them down. Then I'm going to add my lid on nice and tight, and we're going to add the ring on next, finger tight, and then we're gonna place it in our canning jar after I put, it's literally like a drop of lemon juice, literally one little squeeze, probably a quarter teaspoon or less. And then we're going to water bath it for 20 minutes. And I'm gonna go ahead and do that for the strawberry and the regular applesauce, and I'll catch up with you after we have all of our applesauce laid out on the table. I just wanna thank you guys so much for coming along with me today and making all this yummy applesauce. I can't wait to see you on my next upload. If you're looking for something to watch after you've watched this episode, I will link up right here a playlist of my favorite episodes. So let's get to canning. Once you're canning, once it comes to a boil, then you're going to leave it on for about 20 minutes, and then it'll be all canned up, and it'll be shelf ready and safe for your family to eat. It can stay on the shelf for over a year. I doubt it will because it's so yummy, but it could. Your canning jars, once you take them out, they will pop, and that's how you know they're ready. They make a noise. That one just did. And then they are shelf stable. Go ahead and enjoy them in the future. Okay, friends, that's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today. It's super fun to make applesauce. Not only do you know the ingredients when you make it at home, you know that it's safer for you, but the taste is just so much better than store-bought. So I hope you go ahead and go visit a local orchard, support your local orchard, and buy yourself a variety of apples and throw it together. You could put whatever you want truly in that and make that version of applesauce. So we've made raspberry, strawberry, and regular today. And I was able to get 10 jars. I have a couple more in there with chicken bone broth for my cousin. So I'm gonna make her some yummy soup to help her recover in her surgery. So I have a few more in there, but it yields a good amount. And I'll see you in a couple of days. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.